roll on in to Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
Back to the Mavericks game now on Spirit 106.3.
Here's handoff to Washington to the 20. Inside the 20, down to the 10. We've got a flag on the play.
Afraid it's going to come back when you see a flag in that area. It's usually going to be offensive holding.
Yeah, going to be holding on the Mavs. Dalton, we were talking about up here, Philip made a good point about Washington running the ball. If he stays true to where his hole is instead of trying to veer outside, he does a great job of getting good positive yardage.
The coaches feel that Washington is a really undervalued player, and this offense may go throughout the season when he goes. So this very well could tonight be a coming-out party for Washington.
Yeah, and wouldn't you love to see that, Dalton? Because you and I both know the identity of this team with that offensive line has got to be a run game.
And I think we've seen that so far here in the first quarter. It's been a joy to see, and I look forward to seeing it for the rest of the game.
And it'll be 1st and 19 for the Mavs back at the Heritage 34-yard line. Hunt calls out signals, has one back in the backfield. That's Washington. Here's a handoff to Washington. Going to try to get it outside. He gets the corner. He's at the 30, at the 25. Will be knocked out of bounds. Will be tackled out of bounds. And let's see where the spot's going to be. Should be around the 19.
You're looking for a spot. I was looking for a flag, Keith, because he was definitely past the wide on the outline there.
Yeah, but that's he had a hold of him, and it's kind of hard right there. So
yeah, we'll give credit to that. But Washington there, I still think that play was supposed to go inside, but he did use his speed to make something out of a tough situation.
And that's going to be tough as the season goes on with some of these Central teams. Now, we may have a speed advantage tonight, but a lot of teams we play we won't have, so they definitely have to go inside.
They'll catch up very quickly.
Hunt calls out signals. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Washington off the left side. He's going to try to bounce it outside, and he's going to be hit and dropped for maybe a yard gain to the 19-yard line. Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 4 for the Mavs.
You look at the scoreboard and you wonder, how could we ever be critical? We're ahead by, a couple of touchdowns. But, that's one of those little things we were talking about in the beginning. And just the fact that you're bouncing outside instead of cutting back into those lanes. It's hard for a defender when they're going lateral across the field. You cut back inside, you control the ball, you know where you're headed. You can oftentimes get 4 or 5 extra yards.
Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out if you're running north and south straight up the field, you're gaining yardage as opposed to giving up yardage, and you're right on that. He bounced it maybe 1 too often outside. Again, 3rd down for south side, 3rd and 4. Trips that wide side of the field. Hunt takes a snap, looks that way, throws it over the middle, going to be complete at the 12-yard line. That's Jake Tyler on the catch. Jake Tyler, a big game early here for the Mavs.
Yeah, it looks like about a 10-yard gain, Keith.
And it's going to be a 1st down for the Mavs. They'll spot the ball at the 12-yard line. This will be the 7th play of the drive. 51 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Southside leads 13-zip.
Wouldn't you like to see Southside here just continue to matriculate down that field, to run that ball? We don't have to get tricky. Stay with our base offense. Get that confidence going here tonight.
Well, at some point, I'd like to see him maybe pass it a little bit, but you're exactly right. Let's do what we do good. Let's work on it. Here's a handoff to the tailback. He's going to get inside the 10. Will fight his way down to about the 7-yard line.
Very similar play to what we've been seeing where they're trying to bounce outside, but that time waited a minute, let the pursuit pass him, cut back inside, and a positive gain of about 7 yards.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the number of who that was. That wasn't Washington on the carry. That was...
Well, Keith, if you can read those numbers, I think you're better than me. It's 20-something.
I think it's Jackson Riddle. We saw him a little bit in the first game, the junior running back, and that's the end of the first quarter. At the end of one quarter, Southside leads 13-zip. Be back with the start of the second quarter after this. Here's some Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3.
Wanting a fresh feel, look, or decor for your home or space? Wasted Repurpose Marketplace has your specific look to fit your budget and your personality. Handpicked, vintage, antique, farmhouse, and so much more decor will have your visions becoming reality. Wasted also has it all for your fall, home, and holiday decorating. Voted a Best of the Best finalist for 3 years in a row. Shop at Wasted, 1520 Towson Avenue, or find them on Facebook. Wasted Repurpose Marketplace, 1520 Towson Avenue.
Life would be so much easier if you could afford a reliable car. If you could get approved for financing and move past your credit history. With Byrider, it can be easier. Choose from our inventory of quality cars, all with great warranties or optional service plans. Plus, we'll work with your credit challenges to try and get you approved for financing. So you can stop saying if and start moving forward. Byrider. Buy, finance, drive on. Begin your online application today at byrider.com.
Back to the stadium and more Southside Mavericks football on Spirit 106.3.
First quarter stats, Southside 198 total yards to 9 for Rogers Heritage. Hey, check out some of our sponsors, Chafee Construction. One call does it all, 434-5203. Wheeler Power Sports. Wheeler makes it easy, 226-8724. Here's a snap to Weehan, head up the middle to Washington. Touchdown, Southside.
Beautiful play. Still that A gap where we want to be between the guard area, the center area. The hole was there, and he stepped right through it.
You know how you can run a ball right in the middle of the field and not have a defender within a 5-yard radius of you? A lot of credit there to the offensive line.
Exactly. As Angel Hernandez checks in for the extra point, Kel Sheets on the hold. Ball is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 11:56 to go here in the second quarter. Southside leads 20-zip. Be back with the Mav kickoff after this. Here's the Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3.
Wheeler Power Sports is proud to be a part of Southside Maverick football. Just like the professional educators at Southside High School, Wheeler Power Sports has served Fort Smith since the 1960s. They are Fort Smith's only factory authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and now the Mahindra Roxor brand. That's 4 quality, exciting, reputable brands all under one roof. Visit them online at WheelerPowersports.com, on Facebook, or at 901 North 11th Street in historic downtown. Wheeler Power Sports. Get out and ride.
Time to remodel your kitchen or bathroom? Dreaming of granite, marble, quartz, or soapstone and want quality workmanship, quick delivery, and competitive prices? Call Goleta Countertops today to schedule your professional consultation. Owner Jim Goleta will walk with you through your repair and remodel and guarantee to help you create the home of your dreams. Fully licensed, A+ rating. Visit their website at GoletaCountertops.com to browse the design gallery and call 648-0884 to schedule your appointment.
And now more exciting Southside Mavericks football on Spirit 106.3.
As we come back to action, we've got a fight on the field, a little scrap going on over there, and the kick is kicked out of bounds. Will be a penalty on the Mavs. That was Isaac Banda kicking the ball for Southside.
Yeah, we've got multiple probably penalties on the play, and the referee lost his hat as either a ball mark or he couldn't get his flag out. I don't know why the hat's on the field, but there is a discussion among the Zebras.
The hat here would be a second flag.
All right, there's already one. I can't see it. Is it near you, Dalton? We're waiting for the call. Going to be offsetting fouls.
Dalton, the thing we worry about in a situation like that is when you have a scrap like that hopefully somebody doesn't get tossed.
Well, Coach Williams laid into one of our players pretty good early on, and I don't expect to see him back in this game.
Well, the thing that bothers you about that, Keith, is the ball went out of bounds. It's going to the 35 no matter what.
Exactly.
So it was kind of a waste.
It's kind of frustration, too, if you really think about it. Jared Brown calls out the signals, hands the ball off to Webb. There's a hole there for Webb across the 35, gets up to the 39-yard line. Hey, we want to call out our season sponsor of our ball games this year, Frank Rowe Furniture. That's the best seats in the house, no credit check financing, made in the USA, recliners, sofas, beds, tables, and chairs. Check them out, 479-478-7006, www.frankrowefurniture.com.
And Keith, don't forget Cheshire's Fine Jewelry. If you can dream it, they can make it. 646-6715.
And I bet my wife can dream it.
She can dream it.
Again, second down, 2nd and 6 is a big gain of 4 for Webb on first down. Brown calls out signals, takes a snap. He wants to hand the ball off to Webb. He hands the ball off to Webb. He's going to be hit and drop back at the 36-yard line, making the play for the Southside defense is the nose guard, Big Sean Rogers.
And who were you just talking about? Underrated. And you know, a lot of that rating comes down to what camps you go to, What colleges begin to give you attention, send you letters. And, sometimes there are some very talented young men that just aren't recognized for how good they actually are, and he's one of those. But you know what? As the season progresses, coaches start talking. Among those is going to be Rogers Heritage. Then there's going to be some attention from probably the D1 level.
And what's interesting, you've got Jack Hannon playing nose guard, and at right end is Sean Rogers. Here's going to be a pass. It's going to be tipped away, and they're going to call a flag on the play. Maybe a hold on south side. That was Zach Medlin on the coverage. Not sure that's a call or not. They were tangled up, but he went up and blocked the ball. He wasn't really hanging the guy.
Well, one of the things about that ball is it's supposed to be catchable. I guess they said it was a catchable ball.
Well, they're calling it on Rogers Heritage. He was actually pushing Medlin down from making the play.
Yeah, for the Rogers player, there was no way he was going to catch it, so Southside would have been the one with the advantage that should have been able to keep it.
Now, you've got a call here, but that'll be fourth down.
That ball was actually intended for a receiver behind that individual who was holding. We almost saw a pick, and the penalty will be declined as a result.
I know what you guys are thinking. We should have had these guys in the Greenwood game, right?
Yeah, where were they? This is actually a very good crew.
Yeah, this was a play, too. We talk about whether to take the penalty or not. I'm almost would think about taking the penalty, but the punter's not shown that much ability to get the ball down the field, so I think it's a good call by the coaching staff to find the penalty, get the ball.
One of those ones that, either way, it's going to be successful for Southside.
Back deep will be Connor Austin, stands back at his 30-yard line. Here's a snap. It's a low snap, and it's a little better punt. Going to be a line drive punt that is going to take a hop and going to bounce inside the south side 20-yard line. A good punt for Rogers Heritage as they will down the ball to the south side 17-yard line. Going to be the worst field position of the night for the Mavs.
Yeah, but I will take it. Having the ball in the offensive hands with the success they've had tonight, I think we're going to be just fine.
And don't take any chances. Connor Austin maybe could have come up, tried to grab the football, but I think you're best off to let the ball go ahead and roll and take your chances.
Yeah, we watched the player from Bentonville West do that over and over, and I'm not even for Bentonville West, and I was, getting close to coronary area every time that he got near it. But he made some incredible catches that I don't know how he made.
Yes, he did. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Mavs as they start this drive. Their fourth drive of the night. They'll start it on their own 17-yard line. Washington's still in the ball game along with Wee Hunt. Here's a snap. It's going to be a quick pass complete. He's at the 25-yard line. Will be knocked out of bounds. Now there should be a flag on that one at the 29-yard line as he was out of bounds and he gets hit, but
no flag.
No flag. And that was, I believe that was Josh Hannon on the catch for the Mavs.
It was set up excellent. The blocking was taking place, and you get those 10 yards. Once you can get that blocking down the field, you're going to have success.
But is it not amazing when the running game is working as well as it is, it opens up the passing game?
Absolutely, every time. And if you can't run, then you're one-dimensional.
Southside goes trip set to the left to Wee Hunt. He will hand the ball off the left side to Washington. Has a hole there, cuts it back inside across the 35. We'll have another Southside first down as they'll spot him just across the 38-yard line.
What a great example there of pulling guards and tackles from the weak side of the play. They got out in front of him, and he led him. Washington had just enough pause to let those blockers get in front.
Southside's playing in what they call an elephant front. It's where they take one of their tackles and bring him over to the other side. You end up with a guard and two tackles on the same side.
Very effective play, and it'll be, I thought it was a first down. He's actually a yard short, but 2nd and 1. Here's going to be a pass play by Wee Hunt. Throws the ball down the field, has an open receiver. He catches it at the 45-yard line. That's Hannon on the catch inside the 45 down to the Rogers Heritage 38-yard line. Guys, I love that. When you've got 2nd and 1, you're that far up the field, go for it.
And did it out of a run package there, and what an excellent catch. Excellent run after the catch.
Be 1st and 10 for the Mavs. They'll spot the ball on the Rogers Heritage 38-yard line. We've got 9:21 to go here in the second quarter. Southside leads 20-zip.
Yeah, I really like what Southside's doing here. Now we have more of a pass pro set look.
Now Southside will go with 3 wide receivers. A quick slant pass out to Washington is at the 35. He's at the 30. Has one step maybe to break it. Will be pulled down to the 30-yard line and gain of 8 on the play. Brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 2.
Dalton, can you tell the difference on how the offensive line is moving better tonight and getting out in front, especially on that screen play?
Yeah, that was a very good play. That's 3-step slide for them. To execution, honestly.
Bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 3 for the Mavs. As Bogner checks in, they'll go strong left with more of a tight formation. Receiver split either side of the field. Wee Hunt takes a snap, and it's going to be a procedure penalty on the south side that just looked odd. Everybody's moving except the quarterback.
Well, the offside guard there is supposed to be pulling, and he's not even getting up to the line of scrimmage because I guess Coach Stewart's been on him about, you better get in front of that ball carrier if you're the pulling guard. So he's kind of giving a tell there every time. Actually, it's a penalty, not if he's not up on the line, and then he's lined up in the backfield. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage.
They'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 8 for the Mavs. Wee Hunt looks to the side to get the signals.
This is Angel Mares, who's now on the left side. Gives you 2 tackles on the left side.
Here's a snap. They're going to go that way off the left side. He cuts it back inside. What a great job by Washington. An even better tackle inside the 30, maybe to the 33-yard line.
They really stood him up in the air, and that was a dangerous position for Washington to be in, but I think we're okay on the outcome.
And they were going to spot it back at the 36, but it was actually he got to the 33, and it was a good form tackle by one of the linebackers. I think that was number 46, Griffin Brown, making the play from his linebacker position. It's just an odd defense to me. You're playing basically a 4-4 defense, and in this day and age, that's just a tough defense to play with all the teams that want to pass the ball and spread around. Wee Hunt wants to throw the ball. Will throw the ball over the middle, complete. That is to Connor Austin inside the 15, down to the 7.
Wow, what a play. And we were just talking about, even in that time, they even had their corners cheating in on that box they're trying to create around the run game, and that opens up a lot of territory for Southside receivers.
They'll spot him down at the 8-yard line, be 1st and goal for the Mavs. Again, 7:26 to go here. Southside leads 20-zip. Couldn't ask for a better start.
No, this is exactly what we were saying that we needed.
They'll go strong left with Bogner. Here's a handoff to Washington up the middle, down to the 3-yard line. Is pulled down on a touchdown-saving tackle. Making the play is Seth Kendall. We'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line.
Got to love it, though. We're staying with our bread and butter. And, when the team finds their bread and butter, it's really something of beauty to watch.
And I know you offensive linemen like this because, he's getting 2 or 3 yards before there's any contact at all.
They're sticking with this overload set on the left side, probably until we get a score here.
Again, 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Strong left again for Southside. Bogner over there along with Washington. Handoff to Washington. Cuts it back inside, down to the goal line. Touchdown, Southside.
It's kind of like watching the Dallas Cowboys here with Ezekiel, coming up from the pile and doing the spoon motion about feed me, and Washington's got to have that feed me feeling right now.
Dalton, I've got to bring this question up. You talk about an overstacked line. Is this something, have we done this the previous 2 weeks?
No, this is the first time this season I've seen it, but it's been in the playbook since this coaching staff has been here. I used to be that rotating tackle.
The extra point is up and it's good, and we've got a flag on the play.
And Dalton, I think usually we use that in a goal line set. Wasn't that more accurate to say?
It usually is a goal line set, Phillip, but we did it up and down that entire drive.
I like it.
Well, what it's done for Southside so far, obviously, with the exception of the points that we're talking about, and it's going to be a penalty on Rogers Heritage, the point will be good. And with that, let's go ahead and take a break. This is Southside Maverick Football on Spirit 106.3.
Hello, radio listener. Are you enjoying the football game tonight? How would you like to be sitting in the warm, relaxing, and highly beneficial swirling waters of your own hot spring spa? A spa can be both relaxing and fun, and a great end to an exhilarating football game. So hurry into Burton Pools and Spas at 6121 South Zero to check out the great deals on pools and spas. Burton Pools and Spas. Let them show you how to get your feet wet without getting in over your head.
Franco Furniture knows you are tired of all the back-to-school sales. So this September, we are going to do something different.
Come on into Franco Furniture and spin the wheel to win a swivel rocker or get anywhere from 5 to 50% off at Franco Furniture. We also are now offering 0 down and up to 60-month interest-free financing with approved credit. Spin the wheel at Franco Furniture. You always win at Franco Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Back to the Mavericks game now on Spirit 106.3.
Welcome back to action. It's going to be an onside kick by Southside, recovered by Rogers. Really good recovery over there by Rogers. He had the penalty good call by the Southside coaching staff trying to get the points and maybe put this into a mercy rule.
You know, the offside kick, or onside kick, I should say, is such a touchy thing. If you don't kick it far enough, it's a penalty. It's got to go that 10 yards, and sometimes you have to kick your coverage, and that's what happened there.
Be 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line for Rogers Heritage. They'll start this drive. This will be their 5th drive of the ball game. Not done much so far, guys.
Nope.
As Jeb Brown calls out signals, has J.J. Webb in the backfield. 2 receivers each side of the field. It's going to be a quick pass out complete at the 25. Boy, he is hit and dropped for about a 4-yard loss. What a great play over there. Making the play is Dakota Wareheim. Also, Angel Hernandez over there for the Southside defense will bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 13.
Keith, is it just me, or have we gotten faster between week 1, week 2, and where we're at
Well,
now?
I kind of think it helps, too. The team you're playing may be just a bit slower,
Well,
too.
I'm trying to keep it positive here.
I know
The glass is
you're
half
right.
full.
You got to be. I mean, you can, if you're Southside, the coaching staff has to be ecstatic right now with what's going on out there.
Yeah, they may be wondering, what's going on here and what's fixing to take place.
Brown calls out signals, takes a snap, will hand it off to Webb up the middle. He's going to get across the 30, will be gang tackled at the 32-yard line, be a gain of 3, will be 3rd down, 3rd and 10 for Rogers Heritage.
We've already seen several personal fouls and unsportsmanlike conduct called, and there's another flag. I was afraid of that. Keith, when the whistle blows, it's time to stop. The violence is over, and stand up, and we're continuing as if we're sending some sort of message to somebody here.
Well, you had a little scrum there a bit earlier.
What you definitely don't want to see is when you're up 27-0 being the instigator of that.
Yeah, if you're the recipient, and Dalton, you could speak to this more than anybody because you took a lot of abuse down there on the field. But I think we're goading them into some penalties here. But if that starts going the other way, you're giving them 15-yard chunks of real estate every time.
And that's going to be on them, it looks like.
It is on them.
Yeah.
Still, when the whistle blows for either team, it's time to stand up, and we'll play again the next down.
Well, that's almost a play, too. I mean, Southside, as you talked about, a little bit aggressive on the play, and I think Rogers responded to it, and I know Coach is over there trying to talk him out of the penalty, but, both ways you got to be disciplined either way.
Yeah, there's no room for that. And I think that's why it's such a cardinal foul, that it's 15 yards.
And it should be 3rd down because that actually happened after the play, and we're going to have a timeout. With that timeout, we'll take one, too. This is Southside Maverick Football, Spirit 106.3.
Jewelry is something special given to someone special, and at Cheshire's Fine Jewelry, we understand that you want the very best for your money. We only use the finest quality diamonds and gemstones versus selling promotional quality items. Cheshire's Fine Jewelry wants to be your personal jeweler. If you can dream it, we can make it. From custom jewelry to repairs and watches, all services are done in our store. Cheshire's accepts all credit cards and offers 12 months same as cash financing. Cheshire's Fine Jewelry, where our customers become our friends.
Football season is here at Crabtree RV in Alma. We make tailgating with your favorite team very affordable, with discounts up to $15,000 off new fifth wheels and $10,000 off new travel trailers. Check out deals like the new Catalina with patio for as low as $249 a month. Browse the area's largest indoor showroom and explore the new 2020 styles from Grand Design and Coachman Freedom Express. That's only at Crabtree RV in Alma, where your family's dreams come true.
Back to the stadium and more Southside Mavericks football on Spirit 106.3.
As we get back to action, Jeb Brown tries to attempt to throw a screen that's going to be deflected, incomplete. We'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 25. Guys, I thought that the penalty obviously happened before the play was over. I thought it was a dead ball foul.
They called it a continuation of play, and on that offensive play right there, that effort, they spread the field just like they're doing here. We got 3 receivers to one side and 1 up top.
Tripp said here for Rogers Heritage is a handoff to Webb. He's going to get across the 20 up to the 23-yard line, where he's brought down by, I believe that's Landon Chafee making the play for Southside.
No better than they've been punting. I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to go for it here.
Actually, that was number 32. That was Andrew Rosales making the play for the Southside defense. What I do like, guys, I'm looking at this defense. You've got Jack Hannon playing nose guard. You've got Rogers along with Van Hook playing the defensive end. These guys are putting some heat on the quarterback.
Hey, there's nothing in the middle on the run game. There's nothing on the outside, and the quarterback is not safe with that line in.
Again, Rogers will punt the ball away. We've got 4:51 to go here before half. Southside leads 27-zip.
It could be another adventure here. We'll see what happens.
Southside going to double up, looking like they want to get a return here as they're going to double up the Gunners. And now we've got a whistle on the play. It's going to be a procedure penalty on Rogers Heritage. Bring it back to the 19-yard line. Did they do the old peanut where you remember when you played as a kid, the old peanut where you just take off running, the center just take off running with the football? Here's a snap to the punter. Here's a kick. It's going to be a low-line drive kick fielded by Carr. Actually fielded by Austin. Picks it up at the 40-yard line. Has a hole across the 45. Cuts it back to midfield. Will be tackled and pulled down to the 47-yard line, making the play for Rogers Heritage. I believe that was number 23 on the tackle. That is Elliot Villatoro.
Yeah, that was one there where Connor Austin gave us a little bit of a pause because he kind of fumbled there for a minute, got the ball back, and still came out with about a 10-yard return.
Let me correct myself. That was Villatoro making the play for Rogers Heritage. Again, Southside with a chance maybe to put it in the mercy rule here before the half. 4:25 to go, 27-zip.
Yeah, and I would love to see still that inside game, and they come out with a pro set here.
Now Jackson Riddle checks in at running back for the Mavs. Here's a snap to Weehunt. Wants to throw the ball, rolls right, looks down the field, throws it deep down the field for the intended receiver. Going to be incomplete at about the 11-yard line. Good coverage over. That was Connor Austin over there was the intended receiver, and Villatoro on the coverage will bring up second down, 2nd and 10 for the Mavs.
Austin did have his man beat. Ball was just a little underthrown, which sometimes it isn't bad if the corner catches up, but it just wasn't going to happen.
Again, it'll bring up 2nd down as Washington checks back into the ball game for Riddle. Southside goes short side of the field, stack formation. Here's the snap. They want to throw the ball that way. It's complete to Jake Tyler. He's at the 40. Will fall forward to about the 39-yard line where he's brought down, making the play defensively for Heritage is Dragan Blackwell. Will bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 2 for the Mavs.
You know, Keith, no matter Rogers Heritage's record, that still is a 7A team on the other side of that ball, and we're hitting all 11 guys doing their job, and we can see the difference.
Exactly. I don't care who it is. If they're good, bad, indifferent, this is what you should be doing to this team. I'm not trying, no disrespect to Rogers Heritage, but this is what if they're struggling right now, it builds your confidence.
And I don't know the way we played week 1 or 2, we would be this far ahead. But we have seen mighty improvement.
Again, 3rd down, 3rd and 3 for the Mavs. They have 2 backs in the backfield, and they'll get a free 1st down as Rogers Heritage jumps in the neutral zone.
And we remembered the name of that quarterback. We couldn't remember. It was always so good at doing that. Clay Borengasser.
Clay Borengasser. Yeah, Matt O'Neill before him was actually the quarterback when they won state. He could do the same thing.
It was almost like an uncanny art, wasn't it? Like
it is.
2 or 3 times a game they could pull that defense off.
Yeah, it's the flow of the game. You kind of notice what you can and can't get away with.
Yeah, they were very good at that.
Again, we've got 3:38 to go here in the second quarter. Southside leads 27-zip. They'll have 1st and 10 at the Rogers Heritage 35-yard line. Start this drive on the Heritage 47-yard line after a nice punt return by Connor Austin. Here's a quick pass out, going to be complete. That's to Tyler. Tyler having a big game tonight, gets inside the 35, maybe to the 32-yard line.
More of that shoving after the whistle blows, and nothing good comes out of that, and that's where people get hurt as well.
Well, that being said, too, but also when you see play like that and the game getting away, and it's been a tough season so far for Rogers Heritage, but you do have to appreciate the fact that they're still giving the effort.
Oh, they're not quit. There's no quit in this team. And, again, they've got that same box look, and I think that's why the coaches have went to this trip set, trying to draw them out.
That's why Coach was kind of coy today when we talked about maybe some changes in offense. Here's a handoff off the corner to Washington inside the 25-yard line down to the 24-yard line. We'll have another 1st down. And the one thing you can see with Rogers is they're wearing down.
And Southside was back in that overlook back.
Yeah,
you saw Angel Mares, 54, set the block that sealed the edge there for a big gain once again. It's unusual to see that on 2nd and medium, that overload look, but they're sticking with it quite a bit here.
I like it. Do what you can do. What works, do it. Again, it'll be 1st and 10 Mavs. 2 receivers split now, man in motion. That's Connor Austin. Here's a snap to Weehunt. Wants to throw the football, looks over the middle, throws the ball to the end zone. Touchdown, Southside. Connor Austin.
You know, you're beginning to sound more and more like Paul Eels there, and I really like that because it's bringing some excitement back to Maverick football. You know, that was something that I noticed there is that middle has been open all the time. They still got that one safety look, and the coaches are really doing their job who are up high in the press box above us here and seeing what they're giving them.
And, again, guys, I go back to the fact the running game has really opened up the passing lanes.
And the running game tonight, the play before that, the run, Washington didn't try to stretch it outside. He went to the outside where he was supposed to go. It was actually a C-gap play. Stayed in that gap, and it was a successful play.
And Southside's going to take a timeout with that. We'll take a timeout, too. This is Southside Maverick Football on Spirit 106.3.
Get excited about the most important meal of the day at the Egg and I restaurant. The Egg and I serves up delicious, fresh, cooked-to-order breakfast, brunch, and lunch entrees, all in a friendly, clean atmosphere. You'll love their healthy choices and fresh juices so much you'll want to sign up for the Egg Club loyalty card to earn free meals and coupons, or plan your next meeting in their meeting room. So now that you're egg-cited, make plans to visit the Egg and I restaurant at 3801 Planters Road. Call 242-3447. Open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 2:30 p.m.
Got that rattle, squeak, and roll, or that noise you can't control? With affordable pricing on repairs and replacements, the Car Clinic can get you noise-free and on the road again. Wheels, tires, and brake replacements starting at $199 for most vehicles. Needing a fresh look? Let the Car Clinic do your upgrades and accessories. Window tint, the best prices on Scorpion bed liners, car audio, and electronics. The Car Clinic will get your car looking fine and sounding fine again. At the corner of Roberts and Chad Colley. The Car Clinic, ready to serve you. 551-2420.
And now more exciting Southside Mavericks football on Spirit 106.3.
Welcome back, Southside. We'll go for 2 points here. Try to get into the mercy rule here in the first half. They lead 33-zip as Lee Hunt calls out signals. Here's a snap. He wants to throw the football. Has a wide-open receiver. That's Dimitri Lloyd for the 2-point conversion. Southside now leads 35-zip.
Yeah, and that was set up by them looking inside, waiting for that run to occur. Tight end pops out. There's no linebacker at home. Wide open.
We're back with the Southside kickoff after this. Just the Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3.
It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until you get something done. Yeah, I know the game is on, but the faucet is still dripping, the toilet keeps running, and the drains won't drain, and on and on. You need to call West Ark Plumbing and let them do the dirty work while you enjoy the game. Call them at 646-5151 and watch the ball game without the West Ark Plumbing, 646-5151.
Back to the Mavericks game now on Spirit 106.3.
Should be mercy rule.
Welcome back. That was a 6-play, 47-yard drive for the Mavs. A 25-yard touchdown pass from the quarterback Parker Wee Hunt to Connor Austin. Southside now leads 35-zip as Isaac Banda will kick off. It's going to be a short kick taken at the 24-yard line. He tries to get outside. He's at the 30, 35, at the 45-yard line. Looks like he may have lost the football. I think Southside has it.
No call yet that I'm seeing from the referees. In fact, I don't even know if anyone paid any attention to that.
I don't think they did because I think the kid took it away from him.
Well, they say it belongs to the War Eagles.
Well, when you're down 35-zip, sometimes maybe it's just good to get a call. Hey, that's just what it is.
Is this where I need to be the adult and say don't get greedy?
Yeah. Hey, remember tonight's Maverick sponsor of the game is ServPro of Fort Smith, family-owned and operated, serving the Fort Smith area. If you're dealing with storm, flood, fire, or water damage, the experienced team at ServPro of Fort Smith is ready to respond. 1-800 ServPro. Like it never even happened. I like that. Like it never even happened.
I like it.
Brown calls out signals, has a man in motion. He will hand it off to the motion man off the left side. Oh, he is waylaid over there at the 46-yard line.
Well, you know, for the last couple of weeks, that end around's been successful, so you can tell Roger's been watching the game film. They're shutting it down tonight, and I think I'm still back to they're faster than they've been the first two games.
Yeah, and that was Angel Hernandez making the play for the Southside defense. Just glad to be back in the lineup after missing last week's ball game.
You know, it's one of those plays that looks like it might have a chance for a second, and then that hits a brick wall.
Here comes Landon Chafee, just limping just a bit. We knew it was going to be a struggle for him tonight. You may not see Mr. Chafee or Leighton Johnson the rest of the ball game.
getting attention from the coaches on the sideline.
Exactly. Here's a snap. Looked like Southside might have been in the neutrals on no flag. They throw the ball out complete. He's at midfield. He gets in Southside territory. Boy, it's hit, knocked down at the 41-yard line.
Big hit.
What a big hit over for Southside, making the play over there. I believe that's number 6, Levi Russell, the young sophomore, and we've got an injured Heritage player. And with that injury, we'll take a timeout. Just a Southside Maverick football Spirit 106.3.
Warning, the prices are falling at Crane Hyundai Fort Smith during the year-end sales event. Get 0% financing for 72 months on select new 2020 Santa Fe's and Elantras. Plus, get a new 2019 Sonata for as low as $16,999. New 2019 Tucson start at only $19,455. Get America's best warranty, 10 years or 100,000 miles. Shop Crane Hyundai of Fort Smith, 3600 0 Street, and CraneHyundaiFTSmith.com. With approved credit, see dealer for details.
Chafee Construction wants to exceed your expectations as your local, fully licensed contractor, specializing in no job that is too small or too large. Chafee Construction does roofing, siding, gutters, concrete, HVAC, plumbing, electric, flooring, painting, windows, and more. Whatever your needs, remember Chafee Construction can do it all. Locally owned, state licensed, and insured for your protection. Chafee Construction, 434-5203.
Proud sponsor of Southside Football. Go Landon.
Franco Furniture knows you are tired of all the back-to-school sales. So this September, we are going to do something different.
Come on in to Franco Furniture and spin the wheel to win a swivel rocker or get anywhere from 5 to 50% off at Franco Furniture. We also are now offering 0 down and up to 60 months interest-free financing with approved credit. Spin the wheel at Franco Furniture. You always win at Franco Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Your home for Southside Mavericks football. KZKZ, Greenwood, Fort Smith. Family-friendly radio, Spirit 106.3.
Welcome back. That was Tristan Ketter, the offensive lineman for Heritage. He walks off the field under his own power. Here's a snap to Brown. Wants to throw the football. Here comes the heat, and he's going to fall down at the 48-yard line. Getting some pressure over there, leading the charge for the Southside defense. Didn't make the play, but he was there to make the play with Caleb Sanders.
Hurries are always good, Keith, and that was certainly a hurry. He kind of over-pursued the play. Quarterback was able to slip around, but he actually did slip down after he slipped around.
Very slippery.
Some might say that was a slippery slope.
There you go.
We better stop.
Good times tonight. Again, it'll be second down, 2nd and 18 for the War Eagles. They trail Southside 35-zip. Closing seconds of the first half. Here's a handoff to Webb. He's going to be hit and dropped at the 45-yard line. And Dalton, I'm going to take it down to you. You talked about this earlier in the ball game. The big thing we were looking at was the rushing defense of Southside going against the rushing offense of Heritage, and obviously Southside's won this battle.
Without a doubt, Keith, they've won the battle. Sean Rogers has been in the backfield every play, but this entire defensive line has really stepped up this game. We knew we had it in the linebacker core. This defensive line's having a great game.
Here's a snap, too. Brown's going to hand the ball off again. That's to Webb, and he's going to get to the 42-yard line where he'll be short of the first down. It'll be 4th down, 4th and 12. Sure, they'll go for it here as there's 0.4 seconds. I'm a little bit surprised. They're going to let the half run out. I'm a bit surprised, though, they didn't try to do something with the offense there.
Yeah, you would think they would, but maybe a little bit of defeatism in them.
Yeah, and that's going to be the half. At the half, Southside leads 35-zip. Be back with halftime highlights and commentary. After this, this is Southside Maverick Football on Spirit 106.3.
Your voice lets him know he's safe. Shelter Insurance does the same for you. Roadside assistance is now included with your auto policy. So if your car leaves you stranded, just call and we'll take care of you while you take care of what's most important. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. Wear your shield, wear your shelter. Some restrictions apply.
For details, see Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Arts Barbecue and Burgers has the best burger in town. And every Saturday, enjoy any burger at Arts and get $1 off. Try Arts Bacon Cheeseburger, topped with house-smoked bacon, or the Art Attack with bacon, ham, and a fried egg. And all of Arts burgers come with a mound of fresh-cut fries, or upgrade to Arts homemade onion rings. $1 off all burgers every Saturday at Arts Barbecue and Burgers, 8203 Rogers Avenue, next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
Warning, the prices are falling at Crane Hyundai Fort Smith during the year-end sales event. Get 0% financing for 72 months on select new 2020 Santa Fe's and Elantras. Plus, get a new 2019 Sonata for as low as $16,999. New 2019 Tucson start at only $19,455. Get America's best warranty, 10 years or 100,000 miles. Shop Crane Hyundai of Fort Smith, 3600 0 Street, and CraneHyundaiFTSmith.com. With approved credit, see dealer for details.
It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until you get something done. Yeah, I know the game is on, but the faucet is still dripping, the toilet keeps running, and the drains won't drain, and on and on. You need to call West Ark Plumbing and let them do the dirty work while you enjoy the game. Call them at 646-5151 and watch the ball game without the West Ark Plumbing, 646-5151.
The office of Dr. Henry J. U. Dodge Jr. and Dr. Henry J. U. Dodge III at U. Dodge Orthodontics has been a respected provider in our orthodontic care community since 1972. The top priority of their practice is to provide you the highest quality orthodontic care in a fun, friendly, comfortable environment. They utilize the latest technological advances in the field of orthodontics to ensure that you receive the most effective care possible. U. Dodge Orthodontics, 782-3021. Go Mavericks!
Heaven forbid you get a cracked windshield, but if you do, you need to call Mr. Auto Glass. Mr. Auto Glass provides the highest quality service in the area. Customer service and safety are the top priorities for all of their customers. They can take care of your insurance claims. They offer in-shop as well as mobile on-site service, and most jobs can be completed in the same day. Locally owned since 1988 at 3017 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. Give them a call, 782-4441.
This is the Southside Mavericks Halftime Report on Spirit 106.3. Brought to you by Frank Rowe Furniture, the best seat in the house.
Welcome back. Philip Peavia is going to be with you here at halftime, joined by Dalton Person. And Dalton, let me just awe you a little bit with some first half stats. 331 yards of total offense for Southside to 22 for the War Eagles. Now, listen to this. First downs, 13-1. Now, it would be easy tonight to get all hung up on the offense, but we got to give a lot of credit to the defense as well.
Without a doubt, the defense has played very well this first half. Sean Rogers, Landon Chafee, Eli Lyles. We're getting a lot of big-time hits, a lot of plays in the backfield. Very strong defensive effort first half.
Yeah, and it's great to see. This is a night that we talked about in the pregame, that we want to see that confidence getting built. We want to see all 11 players doing their role, their job as they should. And I think we've seen that here tonight. Kudos to the coaching staff. It would be so easy tonight to just say, well, the War Eagles aren't a very good team. It doesn't matter. It's still a 7A football team on the other side of the field. They have talented players, but tonight Southside came to play.
And the effort's been there the entire first half. You're seeing multiple defensive players swarm to the football regardless of the position on the field. You're seeing great blocks from the offensive line, big-time holes, and the passing game has really been there as well. A really breakout performance by our quarterback, Mr. Weehunt. So solid performances across the field tonight.
Yeah, and it's hard to break down and to give anyone credit, but right now I think the offensive line is going to be standing out as the stars of the game. Too early for that. We'll name our West Ark Plumbing, our Fort Smith Flooring Group Players of the Week after this segment, but wouldn't you say that right now probably the offensive line as far as a squad or a group is probably standing out tonight?
Well, obviously, Philip, you know I'm biased. I'm always thinking about the offensive line, but I do think, without a doubt, their performance this first half has been phenomenal.
Yeah, the crowd right now is cheering as the drill team for the Southside Mavericks has just performed an excellent performance as always. They've got the band coming up. Do you feel there's a good spirit here tonight, that it rained all day, but now we've got a little bit of break in the clouds? Perfect weather, perfect night for football.
How could you not be in good spirits when it's 70 degrees, just several days away from fall officially kicking in? It's the best time of the year. It's football season.
First time tonight, Dalton. We are actually in a mercy rule situation, and we have been the recipient of being mercied but now we get to lay it on somebody else tonight, and that's got to be a great feeling in that locker room right now as Coach Stewart, Coach Williams, the other coaches, Coach Tiffy, as they're with their groups and they're talking about what they need to keep going for this second half.
It's got to be a weird feeling to be the recipient of that one week and then the next week be the giver of that mercy rule. But for our young team, particularly our young offense, this is a great opportunity to get some reps here in the second half and also to build the confidence across the board as we get ready to head into conference play.
All right, well, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, Dalton has a special guest for us that I know you're going to enjoy hearing from. We have a new athletic director here in the Fort Smith School District. His name is Michael Beaumont. And Dalton's actually going to have a very special interview with him here at halftime. So we'll be right back. You're listening to Southside Maverick Football on Spirit 106.3.
Franco Furniture knows you are tired of all the back-to-school sales. So this September, we are going to do something different.
Come on in to Franco Furniture and spin the wheel to win a swivel rocker or get anywhere from 5 to 50% off at Franco Furniture. We also are now offering 0 down and up to 60 months interest-free financing with approved credit. Spin the wheel at Franco Furniture. You always win at Franco Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Jewelry is something special given to someone special, and at Cheshire's Fine Jewelry, we understand that you want the very best for your money. We only use the finest quality diamonds and gemstones versus selling promotional quality items. Cheshire's Fine Jewelry wants to be your personal jeweler. If you can dream it, we can make it. From custom jewelry to repairs and watches, all services are done in our store. Cheshire's accepts all credit cards and offers 12 months same-as-cash financing. Cheshire's Fine Jewelry, where our customers become our friends.
Chafee Construction wants to exceed your expectations as your local, fully licensed contractor, specializing in no job that is too small or too large. Chafee Construction does roofing, siding, gutters, concrete, HVAC, plumbing, electric, flooring, painting, windows, and more. Whatever your needs, remember Chafee Construction can do it all. Locally owned, state licensed, and insured for your protection. Chafee Construction, 434-5203.
Proud sponsor of Southside Football. Go Landon.
Joe's Grill is the only place to watch the Hogs. Watch every game at Joe's. Enjoy half-price apps during the game. And with TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat. Half-price appetizers like brisket nachos, Mexican pizza, 10-layer dip, or Joe's humongous sampler platter. All half-price. Watch every Hog game at Joe's. Half-price apps during every Hog game at Joe's. 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps.
Wheeler Power Sports is proud to be a part of Southside Maverick Football. Just like the professional educators at Southside High School, Wheeler Power Sports has served Fort Smith since the 1960s. They are Fort Smith's only factory authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and now the Mahindra Roxor brand. That's 4 quality, exciting, reputable brands all under one roof. Visit them online at WheelerPowersports.com, on Facebook, or at 901 North 11th Street in historic downtown. Wheeler Power Sports. Get out and ride.
It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until you get something done. Yeah, I know the game is on, but the faucet is still dripping, the toilet keeps running, and the drains won't drain, and on and on. You need to call West Ark Plumbing and let them do the dirty work while you enjoy the game. Call them at 646-5151 and watch the ball game without the West Ark Plumbing, 646-5151.
Welcome back to Jim Rowland Stadium here at Southside High School here in Fort Smith. The crowd right now is being entertained by the award-winning Southside Band, who is doing a Motown tribute. I don't know about you, Dalton, but it makes me want to break out into dance.
It does. I'm standing here on the sidelines with our new director of athletics and activities, and I think we could do a jig right now to the band.
Well,
so Michael Beaumont is our new director of athletics and activities. Coach Beaumont, if that's fair. First off, why Fort Smith? What drew you here to our community?
You know, it was great the way it worked out. Coach Nutt and I talk about every week, and we happened to be on the phone and trying to figure out where my next step, where I was going to head to next, and knew my Tennessee time was about to come to an end. And he just, out of the blue, said, hey, I think the AD job at Fort Smith is open. And I started checking the computer as we're on the phone, and sure enough, it was open. I applied, and here I am.
That's such an excellent story. And before you were here in Fort Smith, you were the director of basketball operations for the Tennessee women's basketball program. Is that correct?
That's correct. I joined Coach Summit in her last year and then stayed with Coach Warlick for those 7 seasons. Prior to that, I was the head of operations and assistant AD at the University of Mississippi, and then did the same role at Arkansas and did academics when I first started at Arkansas.
And if you're listening at home and wondering when Coach Beaumont's referencing Coach Nutt, yes, it is that Coach Nutt, Coach Houston Nutt. So I think it's fair to say you're a product of the Coach Houston Nutt coaching tree. Tell all of our listeners what Coach Nutt means to you.
I tell you what, he has been such a mentor for me, and I had a great opportunity at Arkansas and in Mississippi to be a part of, of what he does and how he takes care of young men and how he raises them. That personality that you see on TV, that you hear and see, that's him all the time now. He's 24/7. He's always on, and either you get on that excited train or you get off. It's fun to be around.
Well, certainly, I think the fans of Arkansas athletics and not just Fort Smith know and have a lot of respect for Coach Nutt. So what can these fans of Fort Smith athletics look forward to with you now at the helm of the athletics here in the city of Fort Smith?
Well, there's so many great things about both schools and the programs that we have here and the people that are in place. But if I had to just pick one thing, these 2 new arenas that are about to go up, let me tell you now, it's going to be incredible. I'm so tired of us looking around and saying what everybody's doing in this part of the state, this part of the state, this part. We're going to start setting the bar here at Fort Smith. When you come to our arenas, I want people to come in town and say, wow, look what Fort Smith is doing. You wait now. When we break ground and it goes up, you're going to be really impressed.
And Philip, now I can see why the school board and our superintendent were so excited to have Coach Beaumont here, and I'm sure our listeners home can agree with that. And I'll throw it back to you.
All right, Dalton, great interview, but it's easy to interview somebody that excited about Fort Smith. And, hey, what an excitement tonight. Southside leads the game 35-0. We are in a mercy rule situation. We'll be back here in a moment, and we're going to be talking to Dalton and to Keith about some of the things we want to see happen in the second half to put us in conference play next week. So this is Southside Maverick Football. You're listening to Spirit 106.3.
Hello, radio listener. Are you enjoying the football game tonight? How would you like to be sitting in the warm, relaxing, and highly beneficial swirling waters of your own hot spring spa? A spa can be both relaxing and fun and a great end to an exhilarating football game. So hurry into Burton Pools and Spas at 6121 South Zero to check out the great deals on pools and spas. Burton Pools and Spas. Let them show you how to get your feet wet without getting in over your head.
Warning, the prices are falling at Crane Hyundai Fort Smith during the year-end sales event. Get 0% financing for 72 months on select new 2020 Santa Fe's and Elantras. Plus, get a new 2019 Sonata for as low as $16,999. New 2019 Tucson start at only $19,455. Get America's best warranty, 10 years or 100,000 miles. Shop Crane Hyundai of Fort Smith, 3600 0 Street, and CraneHyundaiFTSmith.com. With approved credit, see dealer for details.
Arts Barbecue and Burgers has the best burger in town. And every Saturday, enjoy any burger at Arts and get $1 off. Try Arts Bacon Cheeseburger, topped with house-smoked bacon, or the Art Attack with bacon, ham, and a fried egg. And all of Arts burgers come with a mound of fresh-cut fries, or upgrade to Arts homemade onion rings. $1 off all burgers every Saturday at Arts Barbecue and Burgers, 8203 Rogers Avenue, next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
Heaven forbid you get a cracked windshield, but if you do, you need to call Mr. Auto Glass. Mr. Auto Glass provides the highest quality service in the area. Customer service and safety are the top priorities for all of their customers. They can take care of your insurance claims. They offer in-shop as well as mobile on-site service, and most jobs can be completed in the same day. Locally owned since 1988 at 3017 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. Give them a call, 782-4441.
Hal's Beef Jerky is the place you gotta go. For over 25 years, Hal's Homemade Beef Jerky has been offering their mouth-watering beef jerky with a variety of spices and flavors. Spend $20 at the store in Shady Point and get a free $5 bag. Hal's Homemade Beef Jerky is also available online at halshomemadebeefjerky.com or just call Hal at 918-635-5759.
Hal's Beef Jerky is the place you gotta go.
Hal's Homemade Beef Jerky in Shady Point, Oklahoma.
It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until you get something done. Yeah, I know the game is on, but the faucet is still dripping, the toilet keeps running, and the drains won't drain, and on and on. You need to call West Ark Plumbing and let them do the dirty work while you enjoy the game. Call them at 646-5151 and watch the ball game without the West Ark Plumbing, 646-5151.
To Southside, and we are at Jim Rowland Field where it is 35-0. Southside over the Rogers Heritage War Eagles. We, of course, just had a great interview with Michael Beaumont, our new athletic director here, the Fort Smith School District. He's excited, Keith. And, Keith, I know you're excited about what you've seen so far.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a good first half for the Mavs. They had 35-zip. You mentioned Michael Beaumont. I went down and talked to him just a bit on the field, and you can feel the excitement.
Hey, when there's excitement like that, things have got to be good. Dalton, I know I said when we come back we're going to talk to you about what are some of the things that you would like to see happen here in the second half to get us ready for conference play.
Well, Philip, this is the polar opposite of the first 2 weeks, and that any keys to the first half were basically accomplished. And so up 35-0, what do you want to see out of the second half? More of the same, I think, would be number one.
Well, if you do,
it has to be more reps for our young players, more adjustments, and used to the game time atmosphere. Is so important as we start conference play. There is no substitute for experience, especially when you're 15, 16, 17, and 18 years old.
Keith, one of the things that we talked about before the game was we wanted to see what injuries was going to do the linebacker core. I think we have an answer. We found some players tonight.
Yes, we did, but what I like about the defense is the changes that we noticed out there. They really kind of reshuffled the defensive line. You put Sean Rogers and Jeremiah Van Hook playing D ends, and you had Hannon man in the middle. And Dalton talked about it. He talked about Sean Rogers being all over the field. And when you move him out to a defensive line like that, he's tough in the middle, but he's even tougher on the outside because he's big and he's fast.
Yeah, and one of the things we said is we're looking for folks to step up. And this team needs some heroes. This school needs some heroes. And I think we found some here tonight. And when you're hitting on the cylinders like we're hitting, we may not be on all 8, but we're getting closer each time. And we were seeing plays where all 11 men were doing their job.
And it's going to be tough tonight. We'll have to name our Fort Smith Flooring offensive, defensive players of the game. At the end of the game, we've had several big players tonight, especially on the offensive side. You look at Parker Wheathunt, a big ball game. You could pick any of the offensive linemen. Jake Tyler, a touchdown catch, 3-4 catches tonight, having a big ball game for Southside. And on defense, there's a whole bevy of kids you could pick, starting with Sean Rogers.
Yeah, and right now I'm leaning toward giving the offensive player of the game to the entire offensive line. Now, that may mess up the T-shirts and the free meals, but right now that's where I stand.
Well, you've got to pick one. You've got to pick one, and that'll be something out there. That'll be Dalton's mission before the end of the ball game is to pick out who he thinks will be the offensive player of the game. That's going to be a tough decision right there.
Mission accepted.
I knew he would.
The only thing I'm worried about is he's going to pick a tackle and not a guard, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, that could be. We don't know. But, again, we'll be naming those after the game during the West Ark Plumbing and Expert Drain Cleaning Services post-game show. I want to thank all of our fine sponsors that we have. They, really do a good job, and we hope people will go by and visit these people. A lot of good people that do a lot of good things.
Yeah, and I know I'm having the time of my life up here. I know you are. I know Dalton is. We're just having fun watching football. It's a little harder to watch when you're not on the right side of the scoreboard, but we are tonight, and we're having the time of our lives.
Yeah, and the thing, too, is what you look for is improvement. If you get the improvement, you always feel good about that, and that's the one thing, whether it be Southside Maverick football, whether it be Little League football, Razorback football, whatnot, what you look for is those little improvement things. And we talked about this. You know, you're not going to see them all the time. You've really seen them in bunches tonight. And, again, I think it goes back to what you guys were talking about. Southside made some changes. Dalton talked about that formation on offense, stacking that extra tackle in there has really made a difference. And the things we're doing, I'm anxious to hear what Coach has got to say when he comes back.
It's really a hybrid look, and Dalton can speak to this, but it's not something we've seen up and down the field throughout the history of Coach Williams' regime here. This is something that was reserved for, second and goal on the 2-yard line, and just something where you said, I'm going to drive that ball. But it really is an Alabamian look. And I know Coach Williams is a disciple of Nick Saban and the Alabama offense. And can you blame him? They're successful every time they hit the field.
Well, he'd like to have some of those 5-star players, too. But
it would be nice. Right now we're trying to get bowl eligible.
Well, he's got one, though. I think we talked about this, and I'll brag till my death on this kid. But Sean Rogers, that kid, I think he keeps working like he's working. He's got a chance, as Dalton said, to be D1.
Dalton, what's your thoughts, as me and Keith have expressed ours, going in this second half?
I have to agree with just about everything that's been said. This overload look we're talking about on the offensive line. Normally you have a left tackle, you have a right tackle. What we're seeing, though, is taking that away. You're taking one of your tackles. In this first half, it's been Angel Mares, moving him over to the other side, and you stack the box, essentially, and when you're going up against this 4-4, you're basically saying, you know what we're going to do. We know what we're going to do. Let's see if our X's are basically better than your O's. And in the first half, outside certainly accomplished that, and the result was opening up the passing game and 35 points on the board.
I know we're doing this to Rogers Heritage, but I remember Keith in the 09 season, same coaching staff, they ran the same play 6 times against Bentonville in a runaway victory right here at Jim Rowland Field. And it was one of those times where they were just daring them to stop them, and it was almost mocking the way they did it, and that's what we're seeing here tonight.
Dalton, have you got Coach Williams down on the sidelines?
I do, Keith. I'm here with Coach Jeff Williams. Coach, a lot to be excited about there in the first half. One thing I want to talk about, though, is this overload look where we're bringing a tackle on from one side to the other. It's really helped a lot in the running game, and we're seeing Washington make use of that.
Well, if anybody know anything about that, that's you, because we used to use you a lot that way. But, yeah, we kind of put that in. They run a lot of 4-4, kind of we thought in the last couple of weeks we've had trouble with point of attack, and so we're putting our better guys over there and makes them declare to the tight end and gets them all messed up early on.
On the defensive side, really strong performance in the first half and an inability for Rogers Heritage to establish the running game. Who do we have to thank in large part for that?
I think, our defensive line, I think Sean Rogers made some big plays. Of course, Landon Chafee, but all those guys in the box have played well. We played the run well, fitted it well, and ran to the ball.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
Sounds like a happy Coach Jeff Williams, and waiting for the second half to start here again as we kind of look at some halftime stats. The amazing thing, 1 first down, 22 total yards for Rogers Heritage, while Southside has 331 yards, 13 first downs.
Yeah, we talked about that, myself and Dalton. And we said how easy it would be to get awed by the Southside offense tonight. But I think what's important to remember also is we need to be awed by the Southside defense tonight also.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, too. You guys talked about what you want to see here in the second half. I think if Southside obviously gets the ball first to start the second half, which they do, I think they'll try to drive down, get a touchdown. You won't see another starter out there.
Yeah, we're on pace right now for 662 yards of total offense. Doubt that pace will completely hold up. This should be a shorter second half as the mercy rule is in play.
As Rogers will kick off the south side, back deep will be Eli Lyles along with Jay Washington. Washington, some big kickoff returns last year. This will be his first return tonight for Southside if he gets the opportunity, and he will get the opportunity as he catches the ball at the 10-yard line. He's at the 15, he's at the 20, has a hole at the 25, will be hit and dropped at the 26-yard line. Southside will start their opening drive of the second half here on the 26-yard line.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of blocking up front, and the wall wasn't established, and maybe if it had been, it would have been a different result, but still a decent return. And, he gets you 20, 25 yards every time he touches the ball.
That's what you want to see, though, is, like I said, we hope to see this last week come out fast to start the second half. Hopefully Southside will do that, just continue, as Coach Chad Morris this way say, hammer down.
hammered down, and we'd like to see that in Fayetteville, but we're seeing it here tonight at Southside.
And Southside will go with a different quarterback. They're going to check, I believe that's Blaine Stites in at quarterback for the Mavs. Here's a snap. He's going to hand it off. I was going to, hand it off to the running back. We'll get up to about the 29-yard line.
That's Jack Clark in there.
That's good to see. Coach talking about Jack Clark had an ACL injury back in the spring. They're going to try to get him on about a 12-15 play count. He'll play some running back, also some linebacker.
Yeah, and that's going to give a lot of depth to Washington. No reason for him to get beat up tonight. He's played his heart out.
Exactly. Again, second down, 2nd and 7 for the Mavs. They'll go strong left. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Clark. Is going to be hit and dropped at the 29-yard line. No gun on the play, brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 8 for the Mavs.
Yeah, and Heritage is going to keep keying on that A gap. They still came out with that same look that they had defensively, and they're determined to try and stop the Southside run, and so far have not been very successful in their attempt.
And Cody Riddle will check back into the ball game for Southside. Jackson Riddle checks back in the ball game for Southside. Southside will go with a trip set to the left of Stites. They'll have one tight end and a running back in there. That's Riddle. Stites calls out signals, takes a snap, wants to throw the football, looks down the field, steps up in the pocket. Now he's got an open field to run. Gets across the 30, will be hit and knocked out of bounds at about the 34-yard line.
Just a little bit short of the first down, but still a good effort. He kind of got behind there, and he had to scoot out, and he did a good job.
Adam Puckett will check in to punt the ball away for the Mavs. That's a good night, guys, when you don't see your punter till 9:54 of the 3rd quarter.
No, there were times that he was in the running for player of the game the first 2 games.
Guys, if you'll believe me on this, this is the first time Rogers Heritage has been in punt return all year.
Let's see how it goes for him as they'll send back Ethan Ferris. Stands back at his 20-yard line. Here's the punt by Puckett. Boy, he hammers the ball down. It's going to be fielded by Ferris. He fumbles the ball, picks it up, gets away from the initial attack, gets it up to the 27-yard line.
That was close, and that would have been the longest play from scrimmage if Southside would have been able to scoop it up.
Yeah, making the play for the Southside defense. I believe that's number. It's like I said, folks, it's hard to see those numbers. I believe that's Drew Cannon, the senior running back for Southside, making the play on special teams. Coach made a good point, too, guys. With the injuries that Southside has, especially on the defensive side, it kind of takes away from your special teams. Most of those guys actually play special teams, too, so you're really putting somebody in there that's pretty far down the depth chart and in an important position.
Speaking of depth chart, Southside's 2nd group defense is in right now.
Again, Jeb Brown will be your quarterback. Brown takes a snap. He'll hand it off to the running back, who gets across the 30. That's Webb. He's at the 35. He's at the 40, at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, you can see a little bit difference between first group for Southside defense and 2nd group there. Just a little bit of drop-off in the speed and pursuit that they would have gobbled that one up in the first half.
And making the play for the Southside defense is, that's another number 19, it looks like, over there. I don't think that's Josh Hannon, but maybe it's 17. That's 17. 17, which is Chase Reyna, makes the play for the Southside defense. It'll be 1st and 10 for Rogers Heritage at their own 41-yard line. They had a right guard move on the play. Will make it 1st and 15.
Should be 5 yards backwards, and, that's one of the ways in which we can put them behind on the sticks, but we got to keep them in front of those.
Well, that's the thing about Rogers Heritage, too, Philip, has been the fact that they've had several untimely penalties, which when you're struggling to make things happen to begin with, you can't afford the penalties.
Well, 2 of those have been unsportsmanlike conduct. That's 30 yards right there that they put themselves in the hole.
Be 1st and 15. The ball will be spotted at their own 36-yard line. Brown calls out signals, hands the ball off, going off the left side. Here comes the pursuit for Southside. They're going to get him in the backfield on a nice defensive play. That is Dakota Wareheim making the play back at the 34-yard line. Be a loss of 2 on the play, brings up, 2nd down, 2nd and 17. Guys, I got a laugh down there, and Dalton will know about this, but Michael Beaumont, what a nice suit he's wearing. He's actually the Cannon shooter tonight, and I told him, he was really kind of overdressed for that. Wouldn't you say, Dalton?
Yeah, that was my first question to him was, how did you get stuck with cannon duty? He told me the first game of the year, he got out here and people were upset at him and asking him where the cannon is. He said, it's my first game. I didn't know there even was a cannon.
Got to be a cannon.
Again, 2nd down, 2nd and 18 for the War Eagles. They want to throw the balls. Brown throws the ball down the field. It's going to be incomplete. Good coverage by Chase Reyna. at the very last second. It looked like the receiver was going to make the play. That was Jackson Stout at about midfield, but Reyna comes in to separate the ball from Stout, brings up third down, 3rd and 18.
Gavin Grant was also in on that coverage, and we need to get some of those names out there of our future, don't we? And these are some of the kids that maybe don't get as much playing time. Glad to see him get that opportunity here, but he also made a cut on that ball and almost took it the other way for 6 points.
Yeah, you got Kobe Evans working off the right corner for the Mavs. Go ahead.
First drive of the second half on both sides of the football, we're seeing the second group in. A little unusual, but great opportunity for reps.
Again, third down, 3rd and 18. They have a man in motion as Brown wants to throw the football. Here comes the pressure. It's going to be an incomplete pass thrown behind the intended receiver.
But still well covered, Keith, and that's the thing. That could have been caught, and you still would have said good defensive play because there was no lapse in the coverage there.
Yeah, that was Evans and Wareheim on the play for the Southside defense. And Southside going to give a different look on the punt returns. They'll drop back Luke Wyatt along with Connor Austin. Austin's done a good job returning punts tonight.
He has, and, that's probably one of the most difficult positions on the field to actually play. It's kind of like playing center field all by yourself.
Here's the punt. It's a low-line drive punt that goes way out of bounds. I got to say this, Dalton, you might be able to help me on this. I don't know if he was the kicker when, and you made two, Philip, but Southside had a kicker one time. His name was Leo Gallo.
Leo Gallo played with my son.
Okay, he played with your son. I would watch him warm up. He would kick the ball warming up as a punter. He would punt the ball in the stands more than anything. But I'll tell you what, when the game started, he was there.
Leo was one of those players, too, that he was kind of like a Sebastian Janikowski, just a little bit on the crazy side for a kicker. He liked to be the first one down the field to make the tackle.
There are those players who turn it on when the lights come on.
Exactly.
And he was one of them.
Again, Southside leads 35-zip, 5:16 to go here in the third quarter. Stotts wants to throw the football. Here comes the pressure. We'll throw the ball. He throws it, going to be complete, actually dropped on the play. That was a good throw, though. He had a lot on that because he was actually on his back foot.
Yeah, he's actually having to throw across the grain, across the field to the long side of the field, and almost completed. Probably wouldn't have been first down, but it still would have been a good positive play.
Yeah, the intended receiver was J.B. Campbell, the backup fullback, who now will check out of the ball game. Brings up second down, 2nd and 10, 4:45 to go here. In the third quarter, Southside leads 35-zip. As Southside looks to get the play in, there is 13 seconds on the play clock. I like what they're doing, too, guys. You got Blaine Stotts in there. Let him heave the ball a few times.
Not going to hurt a thing at this point.
Stotts calls out signals. Here's a snap. He hands the ball off to the running back. He's going to be hit and dropped for about a 2-yard loss.
That play never had a chance. It actually was a play with the pulling guard, and the pulling guard got caught up with the center who was having trouble with his man. As Heritage still has their first group in, and it caused a little bit of confusion there. The running back was already past who should have been in front of him.
You know what I like there is we're seeing the second team out here in the second half. Coach Williams was 10 yards onto the field that play, yelling at a player, coaching them. He's still coaching these players full speed, and they're going to get better tonight.
Which is good because you may need them later on. That was Drew Cannon on the carry for the Mavs. Again, third down, 3rd and 12. Southside really working the clock down to 10 on the play clock as Stotts calls out signals. They'll go trip set wide side of the field. Here's a snap to Stotts. He wants to throw that way. Here comes the pressure. He's going to be sacked and fumbles the ball, but he's going to be down at the Southside 46-yard line. Be 4th down, 4th and 18.
Yeah, and there wasn't much that Stotts could do there. The pocket collapsed pretty quickly, and it collapsed right on top of him.
And Adam Puckett, again, will check in to punt the ball away for the Mavs.
Well, if nothing else, we are making sure that our punter knows we appreciate him.
Well, one thing Southside has done, as Dalton said, this is the first punt return that Rogers Heritage has had all year. What that tells me is Southside probably got to the mercy rule a lot quicker than most teams did.
I think that's probably true in this case. I know for some of the other teams it was further down in the game before that occurred.
Here's a snap. And here's another booming kick by Puckett that's going to go about 3 yards deep in the end zone. What a great punt. Let's also give credit to we've got a new deep snapper. I think it's Waldrop that's snapping the ball for Southside. And, that's not an easy thing to do, to come in there as they lost their deep snapper first day of the week So
not at all. That is probably one of the more difficult skill positions to actually play, or specialty position.
It is, and the bad thing, I think it was Josh Waldrop that's doing the snapping, and it's a thankless job in the fact that the only time you get recognized most of the time is if you snap it over the punter's head or make a bad snap on a field goal.
Otherwise, nobody cares who you are.
If they don't care, you're doing your job. Be 1st and 10 for Rogers Heritage. Again, 2:45 to go here in the third quarter. Southside leads 35-zip.
That may have been one of the better punts our punters had all year.
Brown calls out signals. We'll hand it off to the back coming across the field. We'll be it across the 25 up to the 26-yard line. That is Ethan Ferris on the carry. Will be a gain of 6 on the play. Brings up second down, 2nd and 4 for the War Eagles.
I guess the War Eagles really love that play because they have run it to both sides of the field, both long side, short side, weak side, and strong side over and over. And I guess they feel like that's their best chance to be successful, as they have quite a bit smaller backs.
Well, the War Eagles are in a situation, too, that Southside has been in the last 2 weeks. You've got to keep your starters in there. You've got to work. You don't just give up on a game no matter what the score is. Now, Southside being in a different position with a big lead, obviously you do that, get some kids some playing time, but they're doing the right thing here as Webb gets a handoff. He's going to be hit and dropped for maybe a yard gain on the play. Making the play for the Southside defense was Michael Young, a senior linebacker.
And if anybody gets injured on that first group, I mean, this is the group that's going to have to come in and step up. And you know what, Keith? They're not doing a bad job against the first group from Rogers Heritage.
Well, what you usually see when you bring in the second defense in, you usually see the teams going up and down the field, but you haven't seen that tonight.
Not at all. In fact, everybody's had to punt here that we've watched here in this second half.
Be 3rd down, 3rd and 4 for Rogers Heritage as Brown calls out signals, has Webb in the backfield. They go strong right this time. Here he drops the snap, and here comes the pressure. Going to be hit, drop for a loss back at the 24-yard line.
Got to give kudos to that group. That's second group for Southside. They were playing well.
That's exactly right, Philip. This is the opposite of what we saw when Greenwood put in their second team defense, and the Southside offense scored immediately. Here, our second team defense has got its second in a row, 3 and out.
And making the defensive play for Southside was the young sophomore defensive lineman, A.C. Woodard, 6'2", 180. You notice the size difference, too, when Southside goes to the second team. We saw it with Greenwood last week, especially with the quarterback. I think he was about probably 8 inches shorter than the starting quarterback at least.
Most definitely.
Here's the snap on the punt. Here's the punt. They get it off, and it's going to hit at the the Heritage 45 will be fielded at the Southside 48. And you talk about acting jobs. The punter had a chance to go down there. Southside actually made a connection with the punter, but he was a pretty good-sized kid. He holds his ground right there, but you got to flop. You got to do a name mark.
Yeah.
You know, all soccer fans.
What I'd like to see for Rogers Heritage, and I think I'll write them a letter and let them know here's what they ought to do. As ugly as those kicks are, they're almost like whirligigs, like some sort of Australian boomerang situation. Might as well do the Australian style and just run to the side, or have a little fake to it. A little bit of panache might be nice there.
Well, it has such a spin on it. They'd be better served to keep it in field, and I believe that's going to be in the third quarter. At the end of 3 quarters, Southside's going to lead 35-zip to start the fourth quarter. Be back with the start of the quarter after this. Just a Southside Maverick football on Sprint 106.3.
Wheeler Power Sports is proud to be a part of Southside Maverick football. Just like the professional educators at Southside High School, Wheeler Power Sports has served Fort Smith since the 1960s. They are Fort Smith's only factory authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and now the Mahindra Roxor brand. That's 4 quality, exciting, reputable brands all under one roof. Visit them online at WheelerPowersports.com, on Facebook, or at 901 North 11th Street in historic downtown. Wheeler Power Sports. Get out and ride.
Jewelry is something special given to someone special, and at Cheshire's Fine Jewelry, we understand that you want the very best for your money. We only use the finest quality diamonds and gemstones versus selling promotional quality items. Cheshire's Fine Jewelry wants to be your personal jeweler. If you can dream it, we can make it. From custom jewelry to repairs and watches, all services are done in our store. Cheshire's accepts all credit cards and offers 12 months same-as-cash financing. Cheshire's Fine Jewelry, where our customers become our friends.
Back to the stadium and more Southside Mavericks football on Spirit 106.3.
Welcome back as we start the fourth quarter. Southside leads 35-zip. Interesting score. Bryant leading Fayetteville 35-6.
Wow. And Bryant is on our schedule. So we have that to look forward to. Keith, that should have been an untimed down, or play should have been stopped. The quarter ended. The referees allowed it to go, and Southside got 5 yards out of the play.
Yeah, it was Jackson Morosky on the catch for the Mats. We'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 5. Blaine Stott, still your quarterback. Calls out signals, takes a snap. He'll hand the ball off to the running back, and he is waylaid in the backfield back at about the 49-yard line.
One of the differences there you can see between the first group and second group when it comes to the offensive line.
Yeah, that was Drew Cannon again on the carry. Checking back in will be Jack Clark in the backfield.
I think Coach Williams is going to let this go with the second group as long as he can, because obviously this is beneficial to the future of the game.
Exactly. And I mean, there's not going to be a comeback. They make sure of that in the Mercy Rule. And I know the Mercy Rule is not the best thing they have going, but it is a good thing in the fact I think that, you know, you don't have to keep your starters in there. That's the only benefit I see to it, because you miss a lot of playing time for these young kids. Stotts is going to keep the ball this time. He's going to be sacked. Maybe get back maybe about half a yard. Or bring up 4th down for Southside. They'll have to punt the ball again.
Yeah, and Rogers Heritage continues to have extracurricular activities after the play is dead and the whistle's blowing. The referees are just letting it go at this point, but at some point they're going to step up and intervene. I wouldn't be surprised to see Rogers Heritage get another 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty.
Southside will punt the ball away, and Adam Puckett here in the second half has been a shining star. 2 really good punts tonight.
Beautiful kicks. I mean, they're going up and they're breaking over, just landing perfectly. That one just went a little too far into the end zone, or it would have been a perfect punt.
Puckett stands back at his 35-yard line. Ethan Ferris will be back at his 11-yard line waiting for the punt, as now we've got a whistle on the play.
It's going to be a delay of game.
That's a poor penalty for Southside. And, you know, Coach Williams is not going to be happy about that. Even when you are up 35-0, your special teams players have to be paying attention and know when to come on the field.
Dalton, I'm looking at him right now from up here in our perch. He still has his hat on, which that's a good sign, but it could come off at any time.
Sign of a good coach. Coach it all the way through. Here's a kick by Puckett. It's going to hit and almost hits a Rogers Heritage player and is going inside the 20-yard line down to the 16-yard line where the ball will be down there.
I thought maybe he had touched it, and I was hoping they would pick it up, but the referee said he hadn't.
There was 2 or 3 guys that almost got a hand on the ball, and we saw that last year with Southside touching the ball a couple of times. Sometimes you forget which team you're on. You get down there and you get excited, and things do happen.
Well, you don't even have to touch it with your hand. Any part of your body that touches the ball, it becomes live once again.
Be 1st and 10 for Rogers Heritage. They'll start this drive on their own 16-yard line. Been a very fast second half. No scoring here in the second half. Again, Southside leads 35-zipper in the Arkansas Activities Mercy Rule. Again, Jeb Brown still your quarterback. J.J. Webb your running back. Here's a snap to Brown. He will throw a pass out complete at the 15-yard line. He's going to be hit and dropped, and could have been a block in the back over there.
I think the referees are going to let some things go. Obviously, there's no great advantage gained by either team, but the thing you worry about with a block in the back is injuries can occur very quickly.
Exactly. Remember, our sponsor of the game is Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house, no credit check financing. Made in USA appliances, washers, dryers, stoves, refrigerators. Call them at 479-478-7006. www.frankrovefurniture.com. Here's a run by Webb off the left side. He's going to be hit and dropped. What a good defensive play over there for Southside. I like the tackling these guys are doing, Dalton. They're getting down there and making the plays. That time it was Levi Russell, the sophomore safety.
We're seeing some good hits down here on the fields, hits that you can hear. And you're right, that was a good one right there from Levi Russell.
It'll be 1st and 10. They'll spot the ball at the 27-yard line for Heritage. 8:21 to go here. Again, Southside leads 35-zip.
Yeah, and you wish there was an asterisk on all the stats that Heritage is picking up right now, because it is first group against second group.
Here's a handoff to Webb. He gets to the 30 up to the 32-yard line. Either way, though, you got to think about it is they're probably 60 yards total offense.
It's still not much, but I'd still like to see that asterisk, kind of like the steroid era of baseball. Is it really fair for somebody taking narcotics to or performance-enhancing drugs to be able to claim some sort of record.
Again, it'll be second down, second and 5 for the War Eagles. They'll have the ball there on 32-yard line. Brown calls out signals, has two backs in the backfield. He wants to throw the ball this time, throws a swing pass out, complete. That's Ferris at the 40-yard line. He's at midfield, cuts it back across the 45, down to the south side 40 to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, and Heritage was holding on that play, which was let's set that edge where he could get out. But again, I think the referees are just letting him play.
That's exactly what I saw too, Philip, was a pretty big hold there on the edge, but when you're up 35-0, don't expect to get that call.
It's very important to be a graceful winner.
Nah.
No? Okay.
No, but everything Southside's done, you've got some kids get some good playing time, and what I like about this group that's been in there has been the hitting. You haven't seen a Southside team hit like this in a long time. Here's a handoff to the running back Webb. He's going to be hit and dropped at the 34-yard line. We'll get 3 on the play, brings up second down, second and 7 for the War Eagles. Again, 6:45 to go here. Southside leads 35-zip.
Yeah, and I think the difference between first group and second group is not in, the average play. Is we've gave a couple of big plays up, and that's just given Heritage a chance to stay alive on this drive.
Checking in for Southside at defensive line is another sophomore, Dante West, 6'1", 290. Ball just spotted just inside the 35-yard line. Again, second down, second and 8 for the War Eagles. They'll go 2 backs to the backfield. Webb along with Brown. Brown throws a swing pass out complete. And he's going to be hit and dropped after maybe about a 3-yard gain. Good defense by Southside. Good reaction in the open field.
That play had a chance, but the pursuit shut it down real quickly. Heritage actually had people out there to block, but Southside fought through the blocks and made a stone wall.
It was Eli Craig on the catch. We'll bring up third down, third and 5 for the War Eagles at the Southside 32-yard line.
Keith, isn't it nice to think that with much rain we had earlier today, we haven't had a drop, and the crowd's been really given a treat here tonight.
I walked down on the field at halftime, and Dalton can attest to this. There is a nice breeze blowing down there on the field. Brown takes a snap, wants to throw the ball. It's going to be complete at the 25-yard line. Is going to step out of bounds at the south side. Let's see where he's going to spot it. Looks like it's going to be at the 19-yard line.
One of the differences I noticed earlier with the first group in the first half was Coach Williams actually had them playing more of a press coverage. That was more of a standard zone look, and that just left that little opening there for them to complete that pass. But first half, they didn't have those openings.
That was Eli Craig on the catch for Heritage for the first down. As Brown takes a snap, looks to throw the ball. He's going to run it this time. Is going to get down to the 16. Maybe a face mask. I'm going to take a venture on this, and Dalton's down there. Dalton, could you see what the penalty might be?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a face mask on our nose tackle there, number 72.
I saw the head jerk back, and that's the first time we've seen Jed Brown tuck the ball away and run.
I think that may be one of the few penalties on Southside defense all game long, correct me if I'm wrong.
I think it is. I think we may have jumped in the neutral zone one time. Well, no, we didn't because it was a procedure.
That player's pretty upset at himself, but what I want to point out is he's a sophomore. It's a sophomore nose tackle, third game as a high school player. He's in there getting in good reps.
And some of these kids that have played a lot, such as Levi Russell, these kids actually are some ball players. Here's a handoff. It's going to swing past, handoff back inside. He's going to cut it back inside and walk in for the touchdown. That is Ethan Ferris on the touchdown for Rogers Heritage.
I was sure hoping we could pull a goose egg here tonight, but that's okay. I've got nothing to be disappointed about. Southside defense didn't let him have it on the outside. He had to earn his way back inside.
Well, and what you kind of like to do, you like to have some feel good for both teams. Rogers Heritage will leave here knowing they were able to get a touchdown and get some points on the board, as Hugo Vasquez will check in for the extra point. Actually, I think that's number 39 this time. Check in. That's Brandon Baxley.
And we have a flag. Maybe roughing the kicker.
Waiting on the call here as they will see what the call is going to be. It's going to be on Southside. Dead ball on Southside will be...
Oh, it's actually on Heritage.
On Heritage, I'm sorry. On Heritage, they'll have to kick the ball off back at their...
Sportsmanlike conduct.
Their 25-yard line. Let's go ahead and take a break here and come back for the Heritage kickoff after this. It's the Southside Maverick Football Spirit 106.3.
Football season is here at Crabtree RV in Alma. We make tailgating with your favorite team very affordable with discounts up to $15,000 off new fifth wheels and $10,000 off new travel trailers. Check out deals like the new Catalina with patio for as low as $249 a month. Browse the area's largest indoor showroom and explore the new 2020 styles from Grand Design and Coachman Freedom Express. That's only at Crabtree RV in Alma, where your family's dreams come true.
What happened to paying one price and getting everything included? You buy an airline ticket and pay extra to bring a change of clothes, book a hotel room, and you're shelling out for Wi-Fi and overpriced bottled water. Really? Imagine my delight when I found out roadside assistance is now included with my shelter insurance auto policy. So if I get a flat tire and need a jump, I just call and they take care of me. There's no additional cost, but some restrictions apply.
For details, see Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
And now more exciting Southside Mavericks football on Spirit 106.3.
Welcome back. Nice drive by Rogers Heritage to get on the board. They will kick off their own 25-yard line following the dead ball penalty on the War Eagles. Not sure you try an onside here from your own.
I don't think they would, but stranger things have happened.
This kicking the ball off will be Brandon Baxley. Baxley approaches the football. Here's the kick. It'll be a deep kick, going to be fielded by Luke Wyatt. He's at the 40, 45, gets a good return. And what was nice about that, guys, was the fact that Wyatt came up, fielded the football, no hesitation.
No hesitation. He saw where his blockers were, and he went right between them.
The first and 10 for the Mavs. They'll start this drive on their own 45-yard line. Again, they lead 35-7. Benton leading Cabot 21-17. Will be in Cabot in 2 weeks. Next week, the Mavs will travel to Conway to take on the Wampus Cats.
Keith, looks like he's sticking with the second group, which I think is the right call for Coach Williams. The more reps, sophomore pain you go through, the more senior glory you get in the end.
And Jack Clark getting some playing time back there. Will be at tailback for Southside. As Stotts calls out signals, hands the ball off to Clark up the middle. He's across midfield up to the 45, down to the 43-yard line, be a Southside first down. Great run by Jack Clark.
Dalton, it looked like Coach Stewart had made some adjustments.
Yeah, that was a great run, but also a great hole by your second-string offensive line. You love to see runners finish forward. And for a guy who is a little bit rusty, great run there by Clark.
The first attempt, the 45-yard line for the Mavs. Stotts calls out signals, snaps for the ball. Here it comes. He wants to throw the ball, throws the ball pass complete to his receiver. He's at the 45-yard line. We've got a flag on the play. Not sure what this is going to be. Maybe a hold on Southside, or
I'm not sure. They both went in the same direction the flags did.
It's a hold on us.
Of course, they'll obviously take this penalty. They'll move Southside back to their own 45-yard line. Again, 2:33 to go in the ballgame. Southside leads 35-7. That's the only downer for this offense here in the second half. Playing the second-team offense, they've had some untimely penalties, really put them in a hole. Another hole here will be first and 16 as the penalty happened 4 yards down the field.
Well, the thing for everyone to remember is just as we learn in life, we learn a lot from our defeats, probably more so than we learn from our victories. And these are lessons going to be learned and remembered for the future.
Here's a snap to Stotts, hands the ball off to his running back. He's going to be hit after maybe about a 2-yard gain. I believe that was Jackson Riddle on the carry for Southside. No, excuse me, his number 28 on the carry, Zach Medlin.
Still hard for us to see those numbers.
Yes,
I think we would have got used to it.
I may even go back and say that was Drew Cannon. It was Drew Cannon on the carry. 26, 28, it's hard to see. We've got a timeout on the field. With that timeout, we'll take one, too. This is Southside Maverick Football on Spirit 106.3.
Life would be so much easier if you could afford a reliable car. If you could get approved for financing and move past your credit history. With Byrider, it can be easier. Choose from our inventory of quality cars, all with great warranties or optional service plans. Plus, we'll work with your credit challenges to try and get you approved for financing. So you can stop saying if and start moving forward. Byrider. Buy, finance, drive on. Begin your online application today at byrider.com.
Cherry Berry self-serve frozen yogurt offers 50 rotating healthy flavors and 100 toppings. Simply grab a cup and start swirling. Add toppings ranging from granola, cereals, and fresh fruits to all kinds of candies, sprinkles, and even a variety of nuts and syrups. After the creation is complete, weigh, and pay by the ounce.
And do the cherry berry, do the cherry berry, do the cherry.
At Cherry Berry, the possibilities are endless as you have complete control.
Cherry Berry in the Fort Smith Pavilion.
That's how you do it.
Back to the Mavericks game now on Spirit 106.3.
Welcome back. It's second down, 2nd and 16 for the Mavs. As Stotts wants to throw the ball, he's going to be sacked in the backfield back at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, that was one of those situations where the defensive lineman just beat the offensive lineman, and once you're beat like that, there's not much you can do. The sad part is your quarterback's the one that takes the punishment on that.
Again, we'll name our Fort Smith Flooring Group offensive and defensive players of the game following the ball game tonight on the Westark Plumbing and Expert Drain Cleaning Services post-game show. Remember, Westark Plumbing and Expert Drain Cleaning, water, sewer, and gas, they keep you flowing, commercial and residential. 646-5151.
Dalton, don't forget you accepted a mission earlier, and we expect it to be fulfilled.
It's a hard mission.
Southside goes with a trip set to the wide side of the field. A quick pass going to be complete. He's at the 45-yard line. Is going to be pulled down. Should be a flag on the play. Should be a flag.
There it is. Mercy rule.
This may be.
Oh, this is getting out of hand.
That was uncalled for.
Now we're going to have multiple fouls.
Yeah, this is not good here, but
the refs are getting control of the field as they should and get the white jerseys away from the dark jerseys.
Coach Williams has got a hold of one of his players over there, and it ain't going to be good for him come Monday. I'll just say that.
No, there's no reason for any of that. That is not to say that Southside started that melee either.
No, but 50 seconds left in the ball game. You got to be smarter than that.
Yeah.
The thing you have to watch out too, Dalton and Phillip, is the fact that if you do something on the sidelines, you got to be extremely careful. You don't want to get a penalty over there and actually get tossed from the game, because then you don't play in the next ball game.
Exactly, and that's happened before.
Let's see if they try to sort this one out. I thought it was going to be both ways, but they're going to put the penalty on Southside.
Well, the first penalty should have been on Rogers Heritage, but apparently that was all negated by whatever they decided next.
I'm thinking what the penalty is, and you guys can maybe correct me on this one, but I think it's going to be a dead ball foul. I think they probably called it both ways, which was incorrect to begin with. It should have been Rogers Heritage, but then we had a dead ball foul on the Mavs. Again, it'll be third down, 3rd and 24. But you know, guys, sometimes you just get excited on the sidelines, but even that being said, you cannot get out there and do things like that. As Stotts calls out signals, it'll be 3rd and half a mile for Southside. This may be the last play of the game. We're down to 24 seconds, and
there's a stoppage.
Be a delayed game on the Mavs. Move it back another 5 yards back to the 38-yard line.
Dalton, do you think it's safe to say that Coach Williams teaching this next week, discipline's going to be one of the things that gets hit upon?
Yeah, I think that's fair, Phillip. But again, most of the penalties are here in the second half with your second string. But it's absolutely a learning opportunity, and they're not going to be coached any less. That's for certain.
Should be probably the last play of the ball game. Again, third down, and looks like 29. As Stotts rolls to his right, looks down the field. He wants to throw the ball. He's going to run with the football, crosses the 45-yard line. Will go down at the 48-yard line. Looks like somebody lost a mouthpiece over there at the 46-yard line. And that's going to be your ball game. Southside's going to win this ball game tonight, 35-7. To be back with the Westark Plumbing and Expert Drain Clean post-game show after this. This is Southside Maverick Football on Spirit 106.3.
Your home for Southside Mavericks football. KZKZ, Greenwood, Fort Smith. Family-friendly radio, Spirit 106.3.
Franco Furniture knows you are tired of all the back-to-school sales. So this September, we are going to do something different.
Come on in to Franco Furniture and spin the wheel to win a swivel rocker or get anywhere from 5 to 50% off at Franco Furniture. We also are now offering 0 down and up to 60 months interest-free financing with approved credit. Spin the wheel at Franco Furniture. You always win at Franco Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Chafee Construction wants to exceed your expectations as your local, fully licensed contractor, specializing in no job that is too small or too large. Chafee Construction does roofing, siding, gutters,